Pedri is the greatest midfielder on planet Earth. It's not no Bellingham. It's not no not Chouameni. It's not no Camavinga. It's not no whoever. Pedri is the greatest midfielder on planet Earth right now. He's the closest thing we have to Xavi and Iniesta. In modern day football, I feel like all the midfielders are very box-to-box and very less technical than Xavi and Iniesta were. But right now, to see Pedri being so technical and so close to Xavi and Iniesta, it's a breath of fresh air, man. So beautiful to see. It's so magic. And like I said, Pedri is the greatest midfielder right now. He's the closest thing we have to Xavi and Iniesta, like I already said. And it's so beautiful to see that in this era of football, which is very tactical, it's very robotic in a way. If you look at, let's say, Real Madrid's midfield, it's very tactical and robotic with Camavinga, Valverde, and Bellingham being box-to-box and workhorses. But it's nice to see, man, as being a sucker for technical players, it's nice to see Pedri be so beautiful and be so close to what Iniesta was. Now, in my opinion, I don't think he'll be as good as Iniesta was. Maybe he will. He's only 22 years old. Only time will tell. But so far in the entire world, he's the closest thing we have to Xavi Iniesta, and it's so beautiful to see, man.
Unbelievable. This guy here, Pedri, a game with no goals, no assist, but by far the man of the match. I mean, just have a look at this. This is what he does. If his teammates can score, I mean, he had about 3 big chances he created today. You know, if Rafinha could finish today, Lewandowski finished, Pedri would be on like 2-3 assists today, man. I mean, that's what he does. And that's why when people say, oh, look at his stats compared to this person and that person, it's a disgrace. Watch with your eyes. Look how easy he makes football looks. Now, we will talk about the game in another video, but this is just a video to remind people that Pedri is the best midfielder in the world.
I see a lot of people on social media right now saying that if you're like an expert in football, you know Pedri's a better midfielder than Bellingham.
That's so cringe.
That's not cringe.
That's so cringe. That's just saying if you're a Barca fan.
Pedri is a hell of a fucking player. We know that, but he gets cooked because injuries and then he flops in certain moments.
But in what,
Pedri is a hell
what
of a
attributes does he have that make him a better?
Composer, certain ball controls, bro. It's just
Who has more IQ?
Pedri has more IQ than Jude Bellingham.
IQ is shown on more than just picking a pass through 3 defenders.
It's not even that though. Look how Pedri receives every fucking ball. How he opens up his body.
Jude Bellingham does it the exact same way.
No, he doesn't.
I think he does it easier because of his lower center of gravity.
Fair. That's fair.
Jude Bellingham is just as silky, bro.
Pedri's a much smaller midfielder, so he has to be smarter with the way he turns and stuff. Pedri has a little more IQ than Bellingham, I will admit, but I think Bellingham's physicality and his goal scoring ability is what pushes him better than him.
Jude Bellingham is just overall, the attacking aspect of the game and defensively. He's just complete.
He's target midfielder right now for anybody that wants.
He's the most complete midfielder there can be.
Honestly, this piece of skill from Pedri was majestic, and his performance was very good according to the players that played on the pitch. It wasn't a world-class performance, and all you guys are going to be hearing is, wow, it's because of Barca PR. This piece of skill was crazy though, I can't lie. It took these 3 players out the game with a little shimmy, turned and almost got the assist. But one thing I realized about this game and Barcelona and Twitter is they're really pushing for this Pedri best player in the world, better than Jude Bellingham thing. It's all over the gaff, like honestly, because all I'm saying is Pedri, what a skill. Pedri, yes, good few neat touches. That pass that he played through to Rafinha, which Rafinha should have scored. But it wasn't a masterclass. But the way people have reacted, it was a masterclass. MVP because Barcelona were terrible. Most of the players, Rafinha was terrible. Gavi, non-existent. So, of course, Pedri stood out. But let's be real. It's the PR that's really giving him this shine, because honestly, I've seen better performances from Pedri this season and other midfielders at Barcelona this season. Cubola, make sure you follow.
Let me ask you this question. Who is likely to win their club more Champions Leagues? Jude Bellingham or Pedri? who is likely to win them more Champions Leagues over their career? If they stay at Barca and Real Madrid the rest of their lives, who is more likely? I'm just saying, who is more likely to win a team a game? I think it's Jude Bellingham. But then Pedri is everything you want in controlling a midfield. So I just find it so hard to compare these two. I just think it's extremely, extremely hard to compare these two because Pedri is freaking amazing, bro. Pedri is one of the best players in world football. To wrap it up, we shouldn't be comparing these kids. It's just, it doesn't make sense to compare these guys. It doesn't. They're different. They're different players. They're different positions. They're different everything. They're completely different sides of football. Different positions, different everything. But at the end of the day, bro, one guy is providing a lot of stats and the other guy is providing a lot of control. So who would you take?
I need to talk about one player here. I need to talk about Pedri. This guy is out of this world. This guy is out of this world. When you talk about best midfielders of this generation, you have your Jude Bellinghams, you have your Gavis, you have your Florian Wirtz, Jamal Musiala, all wonderful players. Cole Palmer, if you want to consider him in that midfield area. But Pedri Gonzalez, let's not forget that this guy was putting on a show on the world stage before any of these guys got any sort of attention whatsoever. That was Euro 2021. That was Pedri as a teenager running games for a Spain team that were damn good, and then went and played at the Olympics, by the way. Let's not forget that Pedri was the first of all these guys to really stamp his name. Let's not forget that Pedri has been doing this longer than all of these other guys too. Pedri is he's a magician. That's the only way I can really put it. This guy has magic in his boots. In terms of his patience on the ball, the calmness that he shows on it, his first touch, his intelligence, his understanding of where to be and when to receive it and when to get off it and when to play the final pass, his weight of pass as well too. He is just an absolute magician, a real throwback to that group of Spanish players. I'm not saying he's at their level, right? But in the mold of your Fabregases, your Xavis, your Iniestas, he's in that mold of midfielder, man. The guy is absolute genius.
This is probably the best description I've ever heard about Pedri-Bellingham comparison. Pedri controls tempo, which is true, and Jude Bellingham decides the matches. And I think that's a fact. I mean, I said it before, Jude Bellingham has to be one of the clutchest midfielders that Real Madrid had in recent years. Pedri's best quality is probably dribbling and passing, and this is exactly why he's so good at controlling the games. As a Real Madrid fan, I'm not afraid of admitting that I love watching Pedri, genuinely. Now, as to who's better in my opinion, I would take Bellingham. I think he's far more complete than Pedri. I think Pedri soaking wet weighs 120 pounds. I think in terms of midfield presence, defensively, physicality, it's all Bellingham. There's obviously a lot of aspects in Pedri's game that I wish Bellingham had. For example, passing. I wish Bellingham had as good passing or nearly as good passing as Pedri. And this is just my opinion. You can say your opinion down in the comment section, but I will enjoy both of them and I will not compare them. I'll be honest, it's pointless. The guy's playing DM and this guy's playing a cam or a false nine, so it's pointless to compare the two.
I think it's time for all us Barcelona fans to admit that Real Madrid fans were correct when they said that Pedri isn't the best midfielder in the world. Because he's the best footballer in the world. And now listen, please, if you truly love Pedri, if you claim that you are a Barcelona fan, stop entertaining these debates, these comparisons with Jude Bellingham, Wirtz, Musiala. We know Pedri is clear of all of them. Let us Barcelona fans just enjoy him. That's what we can do because we know he's the best. We couldn't really care less about his stats, the goals, the assists, because there is no one in world football that is on the same level as him. This guy is so casual, just playing kick-ups with his weaker foot, if you want to call it that, on the halfway line against Rayo Vallecano in a must-win game. Just look at it. The midfielder cannot get anywhere near him. And that wouldn't be a Pedri masterclass without one of his teammates messing up his assist. He picks up the ball. He does a little turn. Easy pires on. He tries going for the ball. And he just gets sat on his ass. Then Pedri sees the run from Rafinha and then plays a perfect pass to him in behind the defense. And then unfortunately, Rafinha can't finish it off. I mean, this is getting way out of hand. This is not normal because the amount of the man of the match awards that this guy is getting is too much.
Alright, let's end this right now. Jude Bellingham's the better player, Iniesta's the better midfielder. Now, can we please stop? I hate this debate. I really hate this debate because people want you to believe that Jude Bellingham is all about stats and Iniesta is all about the eye test. But people don't understand that they play different roles. Why are we comparing them side by side? Yes, obviously we know how good Iniesta is on the ball, but his game does not need goals or assists to enhance his quality or his reputation. If anything, goals or assists are a bonus because he is mainly someone who can dictate play from deep and even drive forward if needed. When it comes to Bellingham, people want to say that without goals or assists, he is absolutely nothing, mainly just for the fact that he had an insane season last season. Last season, Ancelotti used him as the focal point in attack just because Real Madrid were lacking attackers, and obviously Bellingham benefited quite well off of that. Unfortunately, people were brainwashed into thinking that Bellingham was all about goals and assists and not about actually winning the ball back, which you're starting to see a bit more if you actually watch him this season. And he's still more involved in an attacking role compared to Iniesta. He plays higher up the pitch, he plays slightly deeper, so they're going to have different roles. Of course, they're going to have different responsibilities. He's more than just the stats. He is more than just the eye test. Let's stop this debate. Just enjoy the two while you can. Ballon d'Or. Genuinely, Ballon d'Or. We need to start having these conversations about Pedri possibly winning the Ballon d'Or, because we obviously know he's the best midfielder in the world. But is he really the best player in the world? I mean, with the way that he's been playing, it shouldn't be that crazy to say. The guy makes everything look too easy. I mean, the weight of pass is just immaculate, especially for Fermin's goal. We also saw it against Valencia in the Copa del Rey earlier. Again, assisting Fermin. It's such a shame that the Ballon d'Or nowadays is mainly based off of stats. But the fact that Pedri is now getting a couple assists, could it be said that he's up for the Ballon d'Or? I mean, he completes the eye test. If there was an eye test Ballon d'Or, he'd win it hands down. He would probably have 3 by now. And let's be real, he has a better case for the Ballon d'Or this year than Rodri had last year. Don't be fooled by that Player of the Tournament award last year in the Euros. That was a scam. Pedri was better that tournament. Fabian Ruiz was better that tournament. Dani Olmo was better that tournament. Pedri is outright the best midfielder in the world. There's no debate. If we're going to be totally honest, it's between Salah and Rafinha, but I mean, don't sleep on Pedri. What do you guys think? Does he actually have a genuine case to win the Ballon d'Or? You guys let me know.
When you see Jude Bellingham and you see Pedri, what's your first thought? What is your first thought? Because when I watch both, I just think, forget stats, genius. And when I watch him, I just feel like good player, but without stats, cannot sit at the same table as him. You understand? And that's just how I feel with it, bro. Like it's like comparing Frank Lampard to Andreas Iniesta. You know, Frank Lampard, great player, scored goals, but the problem is right now Jude Bellingham's not scoring goals. He is not even scoring the goals, blood. You understand? And then you're watching Pedri, just the art of football, making it look so easy. Yeah? There's levels to this, guys. I said it. He is the godfather of all them young midfielders, blood. You get me? He's one of the best midfielders in world football. If you just watch him and you forget the stats side of football, you realise how much clearer he is to so many midfielders in world football. Madness.
The best player at Barcelona isn't Rafinha, Yamal or Lewandowski, it's midfield maestro Pedri. From his breakthrough at Las Palmas to his immediate impact at Barcelona as a 17-year-old, Pedri has always been a generational talent. He's never been a freak athlete, but what he lacks in physicality, he more than makes up for in technical and mental qualities. A technician akin to his legendary predecessors, but having played 52 times in his debut season for Barca, he'd go on to immediately feature at the Euros and then the Olympics. This absurd workload led to constant injury setbacks for the next 3 seasons. I was worried we had another Ansu Fati situation on our hands, but thankfully the injury woes have subsided, and at 22, Pedri is seemingly on another level. Certain Madridsters or Prem merchants probably won't agree with this assessment, but I think he is the best central midfielder in world football. His passing, the way he operates in tight spaces, and his sheer composure, I still think a lot of people aren't fully aware of how good Pedri is. I just hope he can stay healthy long term. But what's your take on Pedri? World class or overrated? Let me know.
Pedri just had his name chanted and he received a standing ovation in an away Champions League game. And this was his response to receiving the Man of the Match award. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Like, I can only speak for myself because I can only speak for myself. I take these Pedri performances because they're so great every week. I take them for granted. It's almost like, yeah, Pedri played great. Yeah, but he always does that. Like, it's supposed to happen. Like, at his age, it's supposed to happen. Like, this is how good he is. Yet another man of the match award after a masterclass. And I mean, yes, this is not the first time Pedri had his name chanted by the away fans. He had it in the Mestalla against Valencia. He's had it in multiple games against Las Palmas, multiple La Liga games. But that's Spain. You can make an argument that, okay, he won. He was part of the winning team for the Euros. He's Spanish. This is Portugal. This is the Champions League. He's having his name chanted by rival fans in the Champions League, watching their team lose in the knockout rounds. The fans stated chanting Pedri, Pedri, Pedri. And this guy is so humble. At only 22 years old, a very young age, because I can say so myself because I'm the same age. Very young age. To have this humbleness about him. This is what he said about winning his award. I will give Szczesny my man of the match trophy. We talked about it in the dressing room. He deserved it. He stopped everything today. He ran the whole game. He bossed, dominated that midfield while having 10 men. And being a big protagonist for Barcelona winning this game with 10 men. And he goes on. He has a nerve to say, yeah, I'm going to give my man of the match award. This is how humble this guy is. Anybody else, you won't find a player who does this, by the way. Let alone at 22 years old. That's young. Anybody else is like, yeah, Szczesny played a great game, but I feel like I also played a great game, and I'm happy with my award. This guy says, I'm going to give my award away. I'm just like that. Even though he 100% deserves it as well. But I think, Szczesny, he definitely deserves it too. This is crazy. This is what we're working with here in Pedri.
Okay, can we cut this shitty-ass disrespectful debate between Bellingham and Pedri? Like, Bellingham is so clear of Pedri, it's actually not even close in any way possible. Especially this season with the role Bellingham has been playing, which is literally all over the field. So if you're a neutral fan with actually good ball knowledge, you would never pick Pedri over Bellingham, ever.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
You know, life, there's just certain things that you start to learn with age, and one of those things is that you just got to put your hands up and apologize when you get things wrong, bro. And this is one of those things. Pedri, my bad. What is that, bro? Is that like his 4th man of the match in a row? This guy has been an absolute joke since the turn of the year, bro. Because before that, there was a conversation about him, Gravenberch, Wirtz, even Bellingham as the best midfielders in the world. And there was a conversation for either of them to be the best. But since the turn of the year, for the last 2 months, he's been outright the best midfielder in the world for me, man. The way this kid has been moving for the last couple of months, bro, have been insane to me, bro. The way he is driving his team forward, the way he is forcing the hand at every single opportunity. There was a moment in today's game where he dropped the shoulder and sent a player flying, bro. What is he on? Even this, bro, he wants to be a ballerina so bad. Look at how high he's got his foot. Like, he's just sensational, man. And that pass to Rafinha, you're a criminal for not finishing that off because it was an inch perfect pass. Listen, attackers are always going to get more of the plaudits because they do the hardest job in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net, getting the late winners and stuff like that. And Rafinha, for me, has been Barcelona's best player this season because of that. But let me say this, Pedri, well, the way he stepped up in the last 2 months, and attackers, Lamine Yamal has been off for the last few weeks. Rafinha has had his off games when Lamine Yamal was injured. Lewandowski, same. For him, I feel like he was great at the start of the season, but he's taken it to another level in the last few months, bro. He's been given the reins by Hansi Flick to be the main man, the driving force for this Barcelona team, and literally everything runs through him in every single game. There's times where he's 1-2-ing with every single player on the pitch to walk that ball into the box just to get a goal. Just certain games that back this, that he was the best performer on the pitch above every single attacker. That Atletico Madrid game, that Benfica game. There's just so many that come to mind. And I'm not even a Barcelona fan. Don't get it twisted though. Just because I'm praising him doesn't mean I still can't have my preference just because you lot are trying to cook me on Twitter. Do you understand? I still like who I like. I like strong men. Wait, pause.
La Liga player of the season, Bundesliga player of the season, La Liga champion, Champions League champion, Champions League team of the season, Champions League young player of the season, top 3 player in the world. I want to know what Pedri has done in his career. They are not on the same level. Jude is far ahead of Pedri. We're talking about top 3 player and we're talking about someone that's won best player in 2 leagues. And we're talking about Pedri that turns around and passes and, come on now. Compare Pedri to Musiala, compare Pedri to, to Gavi. Compare Pedri to his mates, Foden.
So Stone is saying, Jude is clear. And compare Pedri to Foden, to Musiala, to Gavi. That's what he said, right? This is where, Stone, you contradict yourself in the same video. Someone gets Stone in a mental institution. We need to get my man's brain to function back to normal now. This is craziness, like, yeah? A so-called Barca fans always trying to downgrade Barcelona players. I hear you. Whatever. Do what you have to do, yeah? But there's a contradiction. Before we get into Pedri, because I don't want to make this long like the last time I done a video on them two, yeah? First of all, Jamal Musiala, yeah, is a better footballer than Jude Bellingham, and he has won way more than Jude Bellingham. Way more. The only thing Musiala has not got is the Copa Trophy, Golden Boy, and Player of the Season, Bundesliga Player of the Season, sorry. Like, which the year he won it, by the way, did he fail to mention Musiala got robbed? Musiala was more deserving than Jude. However, Jude had a great year, so I'm not going to take that away from him. So, Champions League is the only thing Musiala hasn't got.
Ja, de beste middenvelder in de wereld.
Bro.
Laten we dat ook even settelen nu.
Wat wil je nu zetten?
Nu wil je toch zitten met z'n allen. Wie is de betere middenvelder? Jude Bellingham of Pedri González?
Pedri natuurlijk.
Jude Bellingham is compleet. Hij is geweldig in aanvallend opzicht. Geweldig in verdedigend opzicht. Hij scoort. Hij geeft assist. Hij dribbelt. Hij paast. Hij tackelt. Hij doet letterlijk alles en ook op het hoogste niveau. Los van kwaliteit in het veld, ook stats. Hè? En wat ze hebben gewonnen en hoe ze het hebben gewonnen en hoe belangrijk.
Stats, dat is gewoon Bellingham zijn ding, bro. Zijn ding is stats. Hij is gewoon effectiever in de aanval. Maar als je het hebt over tijdens het voetballen en wie die bal van A naar B voor jou gaat brengen, zodat B vervolgens naar C kan passen om te scoren, bro, dan is dat Pedri. Dat zie je niet terug in stats, bro. Dat is hetzelfde als de Iniesta's, de Xavi.
Zoals jullie net aangeven, ik vind het twee verschillende voetballers. Dus om te zeggen wie beter is, vind ik een beetje... Ik denk dat Jude veel meer opvalt. Dus het is misschien logischer om te zeggen dat Jude beter is. Maar ja, Pedri is in de korte ruimtes heel goed. Korte dribbel, leuke paas. Jude doet letterlijk slidings en zo. Dat zie je Pedri niet echt doen. Jude schiet van afstand, zie je Pedri ook niet doen. Jude was spits, dat zie je Pedri toch ook niet doen. Hij gaat ook die positie niet opvullen. Het zijn andere spelers.